Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, and in this video I'm really happy to be unboxing DiD's World War II German Army Mine Detector, Jürgen Neumann. Not only does this figure have a really neat accessory, mine detector, but when I opened it up it had another surprise for me that I was really happy about, and we'll get to that in a minute. But first thing, well, there is a nice meadow backdrop, and then here's another image of him. You get a better view of his equipment, and in this one this is not an e-tool, this is an actual shovel based on the length of the handle, and its position is kind of weird. So here's our guy already dressed, and the surprise in here that made me happy was the branch of service color on his shoulder straps is black, and that signifies he was in a pioneer battalion. I was very happy about that because I have infantry, light infantry, signal corps, panzer division, and general staff figures. So it's nice to get another branch of service to add to the collection. Let's see, what anything else to say about him? Oh, I will say these. I'm glad this is all put together because I have kit bashed another figure with these pants, and they're not as easy to put together down at the bottom here. So we've got some insignia. His collar tabs also have the black, signifying he's in a pioneer battalion. His eagle, and then there's a insignia that goes on his hat, bullet clip, and then some badges. That is a black wound badge, meaning he was wounded once or twice, and then an infantry assault badge. The pioneer battalion, or regiment, by the way, had engineers and technical troops, such as mine detectors. So he's got a field cap, bread bag, ammo pouches, rifle. Here is his mine detector. This thing is metal. It's pretty heavy. It opens up on both sides. These clips are really small. It'd be easy to break them. So it swings out and off. So, and this piece comes out. You look on here, here is an instructions printed on how it's assembled. Put that back on there. Oh. Well, gotta get that on just right. Well, I'll fill with it later. And then on this side, there is a clip that opens up, and I think the mine detector plugs in there. Again, open this. And then there are compartments. I think you could put the parts we'll get to soon fit in there when not in use. So then he's got a pair of pliers. I think that's supposed to be needle nose pliers, scissors, pocket knife, some kind of a tool. Here is some twine, a ruler, and it does have little divisions on it. I have no idea what this is. This part does move a little bit. Here is, I'm guessing that's some kind of a wire cutter. It does not open, or if it does, I haven't figured out how. And then here is a little canister of tape, and there is a roll of tape in there. You can hear it. I'm sure this opens, obviously, if there's something in it. So I had to step away for a minute because I forgot this leather bag was in here. And when I first opened it up, the strap was all folded up and wrinkly. But you can unbuckle it and put all these tools in it. I actually put some foam in the bag to give it some body. These little pieces are probably going to stay in the box unless they're seen. I'll just keep them in the box. So, let's see if I can figure out where they went. Yeah, that went there, there. No, actually this one goes here, here, here. And there. So let's see what else we have. Shovel. And again, that's unlike the e-tools that come with all the other figures, so I have to figure out how that's installed. Here is his Y strap, and this thing, once the Y strap is on, these little hooks hook onto the Y strap. So that's how he carries this on his back. Let's see, bayonet, belt, gloves, headphones, canteen, and then this item fits together, and that is a probing stick for probing the ground for landmines. Then here is the actual, well, the other half of the mine detector. These all go together, and this end plugs into here. And he's got some extra hands compared to a regular figure. We've got 2 gripping hands, relaxed hands, and another loose gripping hand and a trigger hand. The one thing it didn't come with, which surprises me, is we didn't get a landmine. So, anyway, there's all the cool stuff, and here in a minute I'll put it together and we'll look at it. So here's something of interest of this figure. These camouflage pants have suspenders on them. And the other thing that's different is they've got this button fly flap. Then there's the Velcro fly on them. So another bit of detail of interest. Here's Jurgen, all decked out and ready to do some mine detecting. Let's see, a few things to point out. His mine detector, it's attached to the top of his Y straps with these hooks. And then, you know, these Y straps, there's actually 2 straps on each side in the front. One of them loops under his arms and attaches to two hooks at the bottom of the box. This box is metal, all metal, and it's heavy. In fact, it feels like it's heavier than the figure itself. So for that reason, I had to use a waist grabber. I tried putting the grabber down just below his tunic, but it pinched the pants quite a bit, and the figure still had a tendency to want to lean backwards from the weight of the mine detector. So I ended up putting it, it's hard to see, thankfully, just below the belt here. And it had the added advantage of the box is actually resting on the top of the waist grabber here. The headphone set had to be adjusted quite a bit to fit over his hat. That's heavy wire inside, so it can be adjusted. You just have to force it. Let's see, what else is there to say about it? Oh, this wire coming out, there was a little box attached here that you pull out, and it's attached to that wire, and this is that little box, and it goes over the belt. It has a little dial and markings on it. I assume that's for volume control. It has a leather strap, and the end of the leather strap has a hole in it. And then on the bottom of this box, there's a little tiny hole. I think there was a pin in there for attaching that strap, but that little tiny pin apparently came out, and no telling where it is now. But it works without it. The other thing is the headphone cord plugs in here. It's not a very tight fit, so you want to be careful of that coming out. This did have the end of his stick here plugs in here, and it is a tight fit, no problem there. This cover plate for the end, this end, I thought it would fit inside this box. You know, you could take this plate off and there's some storage compartments inside, but it doesn't fit. It's too long. It actually ends up sticking out like that, which makes me wonder, what do they do with this when it's in operation? All their photos show it configured with the cover off. However, with this hole on the bottom, I think they actually, and I may change it to reflect this, but they kept the cover on and they just fed these wires through that hole. You cannot put the cover on though when the headphones are plugged in, because the plug sticks out too far. However, if you just kind of feed the wire up inside, you can't see whether or not it's plugged in. So there you have it. There is Jurgen. I think this is a great set. I really like this accessory. Lots of stuff to go with it. They did a really good job of detailing it. So I think it's a fantastic figure. So really worth the money. So I wasn't content with having just one Pioneer in my collection, and I kit bashed another one using the Leo head sculpt. He is decked out as an infantryman with all the typical equipment. Also, I swapped out his camo pants for regular gray pants, so they wouldn't look so much alike. I originally was going to have him holding his gun, like he was watching out while this guy's doing his work. But then I figured, hey, this is a great opportunity to display the prodding stick that came with Jurgen. So that's what he's doing. So there is my second Pioneer to go with Jurgen. So when this figure came out, I also acquired a new book on World War II uniforms, and in the section on the German pioneers, it had an illustration of one wearing a particular accessory that I could not resist kit bashing a figure for that. And here he is with the flamethrower. So again, I did swap out the field cap for a steel helmet, and I put him in jack boots again, so he would look a little bit unique from his two compatriots. So if you saw my video of the SS flamethrower, you know, I was not too keen on having another SS figure, so now I've got one in the Army. So that made me very happy. This figure ended up making me very happy. And there you have it. Jurgen and his two Pioneer buddies. The one thing that would make this little set complete would be an officer of Pioneers with the black piping in his hat. So DiD, if you're listening, please give us one of those. That would be great. But there you have it. Hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for stopping by.